What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the grilled cheese series here on Bones and Brews Barbecue. Today we're going to fire up the Blackstone and go nice and simple with triple cheese grilled cheese. So let's get started. All right, folks, Blackstone griddle's ready to go. Kind of a low medium heat here. Butter is melted inside the butter wheel. So for today's 3 cheese grilled cheese, we're going to use some Texas toast size bread, a little thicker bread here. Since we're going with all those cheeses, can never go wrong with a little Texas toast. All right, so I'm going ahead and I'm going to actually butter up both sides of the bread. I want to lightly toast what would be the inside of the sandwich first here. So let's go ahead and try out the butter roller. Whoa, yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, my friends. Woo. All right, let's go ahead and get that one on there. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be absolutely delicious here. All right, we're just slightly toasting the inside of those. And we're gonna flip them over and start with our cheeses. Now today we got 3 cheeses we're going with. We're gonna go with a cheddar, a Munster cheese, and a baby Swiss cheese. Those are gonna be our 3 cheeses. You could mix this up at home with what you wanna use as well. Probably didn't take long to get those toasted. Oh, look at that. All right, my friends, we want to hurry up and get this cheese on here. So we're going to start with that slice of cheddar. And we'll go with that Munster cheese here as well. And then last but not least, we're going to go with that Swiss cheese. Now the pieces I got today for this were kind of really thin, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and put 2 of those on there. Take that bun, flip it over. There we go, my friends. I'm gonna turn that heat all the way down. We're gonna cover that up for just a moment and see if we can get maybe a little bit of water under there, a little steam. Melt those cheeses. We'll pull it off in just a moment. All right, my friends, I believe our grilled cheese is ready to go. It only takes a matter of moments here on that Blackstone. We're gonna take it off, put it on a really small cutting board here off to the side. You guys can kind of see what we got going on, seeing those cheeses starting to melt on the outside. Let's go ahead and slice it up. Open it up. Oh yeah, my friends, there we go. There is our 3 cheese grilled cheese. It's time to give it a taste test. All right, everybody, it is time to give this grilled cheese with those 3 cheeses a taste test. Let's see if we get a little crunch. Oh yeah. Absolutely delicious with that cheddar, Munster, and that Swiss. You could use any 3 cheeses you want, by the way. That's how we roll today. Loved how that butter will work for us. Make it nice and crispy on the outside of the Texas toast. This was a great episode for you guys to check out. Simple, easy, fast on the Blackstone griddle. Great if you got some soup going inside for the kids. They want a little grilled cheese. Make them outside, super fast as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of our grilled cheese series. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews. What's going on, everybody? Next up in our grilled cheese series, pepperoni grilled cheese. Let's get started. All right, friends, as we get this one started, I'm using that thicker Texas toast style again today. I got the butter wheel going here off to the side, a little bit of melted butter inside. So I'm gonna actually just go ahead and just put melted butter on one side of each of this bread first, because I'm gonna lightly toast what would be the inside. I love doing that with my sandwiches. Get that just a lightly toast on there. That'll take just a moment, and we'll come back and I'll show you what we're gonna do with the other sides of that pieces of bread. All right, let's take a look. Nice light toast on that. So I'm gonna pull it off, put it on a small cutting board off to the side here. That one's got a little nice light toast to it as well. All right, so next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come back to that butter wheel for the other side of that bread. Get a little bit of that melted butter on there. Put them on my cutting board though, because I'm gonna use this as a little trick here first before I just slap it on that Blackstone. All right, so we're gonna do here is we've got those pieces of bread with that butter. I'm going to take a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna sprinkle some of that on that. Hopefully that butter will absorb some of that, and we're gonna hit it with just a little light coating of Italian seasoning as well. You could also just go with maybe parsley if you wanted to. All right, so, and then I'm gonna make sure I get everything ready to roll here. For today, I'm using some fresh sliced, bigger pieces of pepperoni from my store, as well as a mozzarella cheese. So, we're just gonna make ourselves ready to go here, ready to build this pretty quickly. Turn that heat down just a little bit. All right, we'll start with, let that melt. Slice that Monterey, or slice of that mozzarella. We're gonna hit it with a few slices of this pepperoni. All right, I'm gonna hit the inside with a little more of that Italian seasoning. We'll come back with a little bit of that Parmesan as well. And then another slice of that mozzarella. We'll lay that on top. Turn that heat down. Let it get toasted on one side. I'm going to cover it for a moment as well. As those cheese start to melt, we'll come back and flip it in just a second. All right, we're going to go ahead and cautiously flip that over and let that other side get nice and toasted. Okay, as we lift that lid, we're going to start to see those cheeses starting to melt. That means it's time to take this off of that Blackstone. We'll turn that heat off. All right. We'll take our pepperoni grilled cheese, go to our cutting board, and we're going to slice it in half and take a look here. All right, friends, let's slice it. Open it up. There we go, my friends. That is our pepperoni grilled cheese. And I've got myself a little bit of pizza dipping sauce as well. Let's give it a taste test. All right, friends, there is our pepperoni grilled cheese, a little dipping pizza sauce here. Let's go in for that taste test. Absolutely delicious. Icing on this cake is just really using that Italian seasoning like we did, and then a little bit of that Parmesan. Absolutely amazing. You could even put maybe rub a little garlic on there if you wanted to. And having that pizza sauce as a dipping sauce, you cannot go wrong. Thanks for watching this episode in our grilled cheese series. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews. Welcome back to the grilled cheese series, everybody. Today we're going to go with a nacho-inspired grilled cheese. Let's get started. All right, so for our nacho-inspired grilled cheese, we'll go ahead and get a little butter going on one side of each of those slices of Texas toast. You guys will probably catch on. I like to use that Texas toast. So I can lightly toast the inside of those, and then we'll actually going to do something differently for the other sides, like you've seen us do on some of those other sandwiches. All right, friends, so as you can see, we're starting to get a nice little toast there. So I'm actually going to take those off. And then what we're going to do is come back to our butter roller, get a little melted butter on the other side. And then what we're going to do is put some spices on these slices of that buttered bread. Okay, so with my slices of buttered bread, first I'm going to take a little bit of fresh ground, or not fresh, but some ground cumin. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of chipotle chili powder as well. All right. So then we'll get ready to build these. Turn the heat down just a little bit. I'm going to move pretty quickly here now, so go ahead and start getting that side toasted. I'm going to start with a slice of cheddar. We're going to grab some sliced jalapeno. These are like pickled jalapenos out of the jar here. kind of those nacho slices. Hence that nacho-inspired theme we got here today. All right, get all those jalapenos in. You can go as many as you like. You can go fresh jalapenos if you want. Sometimes you get them a little hotter version. Then we're gonna come on the top with a slice of Monterey Jack. And then there, we'll top it off. And we're gonna cover it for just a quick moment before we flip it over. All right, friends, we flipped it over. Gonna cover it back up here for another 30 seconds. Right, friends, it is time to take that off of the Blackstone. And we're gonna get ourselves ready here to slice it open and take a look, all right? There we go. Oh, yeah. We'll grab that knife. And we're gonna start slicing it up. All right. Open it up. Oh, look at that, my friends. Let's give it a taste test. Whew. All right, friends, once again, our nacho-inspired grilled cheese. Let's give it that taste test. So I see that Monterey Jack, cheddar, lots of jalapenos. This might be really tasty, friends. Mmm. Oh, yeah. And even just that hint of that cumin, that chili powder on the outer crust of that bread as well. Cannot go wrong with this, friends. You go back and add a little meat to it. Maybe you got a little leftover pulled chicken or something from a smoked chicken. This is absolutely amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed this little quick recipe here on our grilled cheese series. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Bros.